This brings about many, many questions. So with time, I developed, a way to explain this to clients, and I wanted to share it today with everyone. The first thing I explain is that there are some key pages for SEO when you do e-commerce. I mean, it's just non-negotiable, and it's for different reasons. The homepage, the product detail pages, category pages, FAQ, blog articles, promo pages that are very often just left to languish when users actually do seek them out quite a lot. Customer service pages. And this one is near and dear to my heart because it's something that we will find very often listed in the content quality raters guidelines, so the EAT guidelines. If you don't have a customer service page, well, most often you don't have the right information that would make you appear to be a legit store. But as a customer, I shouldn't have to end up in a rabbit hole spending 10 minutes on Reddit to find your brand's shipping details and to figure out that if I send this to Canada, I'm going to have a huge amount of money to pay out in duties. I shouldn't have this experience. Like, I should be able to find this information easily. So there's three big things that you have to consider when you have an e-commerce store. What you want to communicate as a company, your vision, mission, unique selling points, what your customers say about you. Okay, great. What products, solutions, services humans look for online. So keywords are proxies to express these queries. If I'm looking for, and this is a real item that you can buy at Costco, but also online, a home pizza oven, because pandemic, let's have fun. If there's another peak, let's go. Well, this is something that I'm going to express in different ways, but these ways are sometimes a bit similar to the ways I'm going to be Googling how to build my own pizza oven. That's also something I discovered people did during the pandemic. So you need to consider what humans are looking for and how they're looking for it. And then at the end of the spectrum, you would think that all of these things align. That's not the case. What Google favors and shows for each type of query. And if you think that, I have figured out the right keywords, I'm the right company, let me produce the right content, Google will favor me. I have news for you. There are still many, many crappy websites that still make it on to the rankings. So you have to really take the time for key queries to figure out what is Google showing. So concrete example tied to a brand that has disastrous impacts for some people. I have a client of mine, their name. This is what people are looking for in Canada when they look for their name, but their name is a noun. So Google Translate sometimes will pop up in the results and like bring everything down. Can I compete with Google Translate? No. So be careful and do check this out. You have to make sure that these things are considered, even though they may not always align perfectly. Keep that in mind. Why? Well, let's look at what, SERPs look like. You have to understand that this is a battle royale ecosystem. Image search, map search, the local pack, Google News, each of these things are separate entities battling behind the scenes to be shown. They have their own rankings, their own results, and they're always like, pick me, and Google adjusts. So this means that if I'm looking for Adidas, for example, and I love this example, I'm not design oriented. That's why you have a 1, 2, 3. Imagine you're scrolling once, twice, 3 times. Okay. Well, you have a query where Google will go Adidas. I know this. This is e-commerce. And then it's like, okay, let me show you some shopping ads. This matches. Then it's like, you know what? Let me show you another ad. This time it's a website, just in case I didn't get it right. On the right, you have the knowledge graph, everything that Google knows about this brand. Okay, that's important. They come from different sources. Then we finally make it on to Adidas Canada, which is the first SEO result. And then Google's like, if you don't want this, you may want to go to a store. Let me show you the local pack. Let's go. And it's like, you know what? Maybe I got it wrong. And this is something us Canadians really, really hate. Let me show you the US website. Because here's the rule in e-commerce. If I am finding the product I want online and it's available and the price is great, this means I'm on the .com and not .ca version of the brand. That's what I have learned. Frustrations abound. And then, how did Adidas make it into the news? Well, obviously, always something related to Kanye West. Okay, so we have Kanye West news to give you. And these are judged to be rather important. Sometimes they will even pop up at the top underneath the ads. Then Google's like, you know what? This is such an ambiguous and a head term that too many people are hiding in that overcoat here. Adidas could mean many things. So here's some questions to refine. And if somehow that still doesn't qualify, well, Foot Locker is a reseller. So, I mean, we're giving it our all. And if you're really not looking into transactional intent, we have everything you have to know with Wikipedia. We will inform you on the brand. And then an image is worth 1,000 words. Here's the image results. Is it always like this? No. Very often for e-commerce queries, you will have the images up at the top. Look for a lilac sweater. Let me tell you, Google Images there to sell you stuff. So it really depends, but I like this example because it shows you how Google is trying to match the search intent, no matter how all over the place it can be. And this is clearly an e-commerce intent, like it's understood. You want to buy something. So there's 3 big intent categories. You want to navigate to something. Let me get to the Adidas store, or let me get to wherever I'm going online. There's the information side. So one question you may have missed in the previous slide. How do I tell what Adidas shoes I have? I'm not looking to navigate. I'm not looking to transact. I really need this information. And then you have the transaction. Shut up and take my credit card. These are really big intents. And what is very difficult is that many people really, really want navigation and information queries to be transactional. And I'm like, no, it just doesn't work. You cannot transform it. So sometimes you have to be smart. And let me explain this. Sometimes people are looking for information to make the right choice. It's not transactional yet, but you could compare 2 brands or 2 models information, and then you push them along to transaction. But you cannot force these queries. People are looking for what they're looking for, even though they don't always know exactly what they're looking for. They can tell what they're not looking for. And you've seen Google's like, okay, I'm trying to satisfy you all. Let's figure this out. As a side note, and this is still included in e-commerce, if you type your query and you see a video, don't try to compete with a piece of written content. It's not going to work. People want to see how it's done. Produce a video. So how do people search for things? And as a side note, why am I qualified to talk about this? I worked for many, many, many years as a librarian. I was the person in college who told you, no, let me look, no. So I have been faced with so many ways people will look for information and how they're confounded by search catalogs. I can tell you, some people are going to look for exact search. I know the name of my product, right down to the model, like we're good, let's go. Compatible search. Well, I already have this camera, I need this lens. A product type search. So product type search would be like high-waisted pants. I'm looking for a type of thing, not a brand, not a specific model. Related product search. So related product search is, well, I'm looking for, like something that is not complementary to what I already have necessarily, but that is related. So what would be a good example? I had a few, but if I'm looking for example, baby stuff, and I'm buying a bunch of gifts for a brand new mom, these items are related. They're not necessarily in the same type. Search by symptom. If you have a white sofa and you spilled some red wine, you are searching to fix a problem. You don't care about the name of the product, the type of the product. If they told you it was a powder that you could just blow on it and it would go away, you would do it. You don't care about the product itself. You care about fixing your problem. And then there's product adjacent queries, the delivery, refunds, etc. The related product search, the example that I use most often is Tom Hanks. And now this is a bit confusing, but this Tom Hanks shows you how good Amazon's internal search is. If you're looking for movies that have Tom Hanks in it or that have been directed by Tom Hanks, they still come up with the answer. So basically, anyone's older drunken relative at a party telling you about whatever movie, go to Amazon and try to figure it out. See if it can guess it faster than you can, because it probably will. So now that we've outlined the big intents and how people will think about their searches, like what are their motivations when searching for a product? What are their criterias? Well, criteria is color. I'm the type of person, if you tell me that my outfit is available in brown, we're not talking to each other. I will never find you. I look for black stuff. The end. Materials. Some people will not buy leather. Some people will seek exclusively leather. Performance. So performance, you would think automatically maybe laptops. Can I have a gaming laptop? Yeah. Let's talk about performance a different way. Does this go in the dishwasher? Is this microwavable? Performance. Format. Well, I have a miniature wiener dog. I can take her in a backpack on an adventure. Not that she would enjoy it, not that I would, but it's a thing. It can happen. Now, if you have a Saint Bernard, and you want to go with your dog on an adventure, you are going to buy a dog carrier. That dog carrier is an Excel dog carrier. It's a special one. The format really does matter for some folks. Pricing really does matter as well. If you're looking for the cheapest headphones, my wonderful comparison on the best noise canceling headphones in the market is not going to reach you, because that's $200, $300, $400 plus. You're not here. The brand. So this one I deeply enjoy because the example I use is Yeti, because there's multiple brands that are called Yeti. So it's amazing to see like these brands fight each other for recognition, and how Google understands, oh, you're looking for a cooler, you're looking for this, you're looking for that. Brand is also a criteria. If some folks have learned that they prefer some brands, that's good. If some folks have learned that, some brands genuinely do bring added quality, it goes back into performance, but the way it's expressed via brand, it's a criteria now. So keep saying so a lot, don't mind me. People will also search by theme. That's good because it's traditional. You know this, you're comfortable with this. Winter coats, summer dresses, seasons matter. Intended use for the office, for the garden, for that colleague's retirement party. Most of the time the answer is jewelry. Get them jewelry. Special occasions. Well, the retirement maybe was a special occasion, but usually intended use. I plan to use this for that one colleague leaving. Special occasions is more like birthday, wedding. Side note, divorce products are having a huge boom. Special occasion, divorce cakes, does happen. Events, elections, field hockey. Okay, that's genuinely a thing. Whenever a specific team wins in Montreal, you get free fries at McDonald's. That's a huge event. If you're at that level of event, maybe you can offer something, but you have to understand that people are motivated by extrinsic factors that will motivate them to look for stuff. Okay, it's not just you having a wonderful product and then you're going to convince them they need the product. That's old school marketing. Great. I know we have convinced quite a few people to do quite a few things as marketers, like Bernard, Travis, this will probably shock you, but women shaving their armpits did not happen naturally. It happened with marketing in 1910 at the Universal Expo. Marketers created a need for this because they had too many razors. Let's go. So we can't do that for e-commerce most of the time. We're trying to optimize for SEO. So get back on how we can get around these things. Searching by compatibility, we talked about it, but what does it look like? Brand name plus accessory type. This should be maybe in your content, maybe in either a category page, or if you only have one of these accessories in the product page. Makes sense. Simply, like, you don't necessarily need to do a keyword research that's super heavy if you have this type of content matrix in your mind once you understand what people are looking for. Brand name plus type of spare part. That also matters a lot. Product name, model and accessory type, product plus need. These are very important ways that people will like type into Google when they search for your products. Subjective searches. This one is a tricky one, and we do not cater for it quite well, but Google does. So when we're looking for a delicious snack, what does it mean? Is it salty? Is it sweet? Is it spicy? Is it fatty? I mean, if you go to Texas, is it deep fried? There's many questions to deconstruct this. Subjective qualifiers are often vital in customers' buying decisions. So we tend to kind of ignore them, but they're very, very important. So another subjective search that could turn into a real search depending on the store, but if you're looking for wedding shoes, and you're not looking for wedding shoes on a wedding website, but just a generic place, because let's say I'm maid of honor and I have to go seek out a pair of shoes. I'm looking for something really subjective here. Help me find it. Which one of your products or which one of your collections matches this better? Why do I say this? Why am I using wedding? Because I have worked with jewelers and they are not specialized in weddings. Yet people seek their brands and their models for this specifically. Time to wake up and maybe cater to this because it's subjective, but you have been assigned this category. Run with it. So people will start with head terms and refine their searches over time. That's why there's a lot of ambiguity in high volume keywords. Welcome to the theory of the long tail. Head terms are hiding lots of intents, lots of people. And then as we go, we refine. And there's less and less volume because there's less and less people who want the same specific thing expressed this way. They could express it another way and look for the same product. So keep that in mind. So since we refine, we don't want to be number one. We don't want to have like the best position for head terms that may bring people who are looking to maybe build their own pizza oven instead of buying it. So you need different types of content to meet various e-commerce search patterns. And that's very, very important if you want to make a dent at all in your SEO ambitions, like if you want to reach your goals. Because if you keep optimizing content that is not made to even be considered, well, you're not showing up. So there's a hierarchy of needs when it comes to SEO. Is it crawlable? Like, can I crawl? Is it indexable? Can I bring pertinent stuff home? And is it rank worthy? Should I be showing up for this query? And most people forget that. So if you're showing up with the wrong content, it's not going to work. And on top of this, there's an added layer. Google has stated, hey, we want certain contents to be there on e-commerce sites. Look for contact information, including the store's payment exchange and return policy. This information is sometimes listed under customer service. And now you know why I was talking about the customer service pages being key pages. They're not key necessarily to you, but they are to Google. And they are to your customers once they decide to look for specific information.
Now, if you liked this ClearScope webinar snippet, don't forget to share, like, and subscribe so you don't miss out on more great tips and strategies from the industry's best SEOs and content marketers. Make sure to check out the ClearScope YouTube channel for more great content.